There's only a couple of weeks of the year when I run around in this sewing room like a headless chicken, and this last week has been exactly that. Because I've had lots of little things to do, but flittered from one to the other, just not quite sure whether it be gifts, a quilt, something for my son, something for my grandson. It's been one of those weeks. This is, of course, Friday Sews, a complete rundown of the week that I've just had. A little bit of a sewing, a little bit of life, and of course it was started by the lovely Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room, probably 4 years ago now. I so enjoy doing my hashtag Friday Sews videos because it's a time that I can just unleash all my sewing chat that I've stored up the whole week. So thank you very much for joining me. This has just been my week. I don't know where to start with what I've been doing, and that sums up the week I've had, really. I haven't managed to do really anything for myself because I've had one of those weeks where it's been, Mum, can you just something? Or could I ask you a favour? Can you just sew something else? It's been one of those weeks. I'm going to start with probably the most boring item, unfinished item you'll ever see. But this was one of the cases of, Mum, Charlie needs an angel costume for Friday, and so can you do like a white sweatshirt? I had to get onto Minerva quick as a flash and get some white sweatshirting fabric. Now I made, and I'll put a couple of pictures in, I made 2 sweatshirts for my grandsons last week, and I'll just get the pattern. It was the Made by Me patterns, the kids sweatshirt. Came free, well, I got it from a charity shop, but it would have come through free with a sewing magazine. So because I literally made those last week, I thought, brilliant, I'll just get some white sweatshirt and make it up. No, I'm gonna make you giggle. I'm gonna make you giggle because you can get nice sweatshirting fabric, and then you can get fabric that has that kind of look. And I think because this is in white, this is hard to show you, but it looks to me like it's like cellulite. Do you know what I mean? It's got that kind of rippling effect. It's not nice. It's not nice a sweatshirt at all, but it doesn't matter. It's for one event. As it's unfinished, as you can see, because I wanted to, because it's not that stretchy, I wanted to get some cuffing. So, ordered some from Minerva. What did I do? Order the wrong type of stuff, and I ended up getting this. And this to me looks like a surgical stocking. It's hard, it's tubular. I mean, I can use it because I can use it on adult stuff. But it's scratchy, it's hard, it's nasty, and yeah, you could use it as a support bandage if you wanted. So back to the drawing board, managed to get some off from Amazon, and it came today. Honestly, this is meant to be white, but it isn't. It's like a milky white. Do you know, it doesn't look too bad on camera, but it's like a cream. I'm just going to have to go with that. It is the right stuff though. Yeah, it is the right stuff. Had to check then. So it's better, but yeah, it's going to have to go. It's kind of a milky colour against this cream, this white. Oh, honestly, it's got to be done tonight. It's Thursday afternoon. I'm going to chuck that on there. And as I say, it's for one performance, so it's not going to matter. But that kind of sums up my week. In last week's Friday Sews, I have to report back. I asked if anyone else was like me, and sometimes if you're making a garment for yourself, you're trying it on literally every couple of minutes because you'll move a seam and try it on, and you end up sewing in your underwear. And I honestly thought I was the only one that did that. But oh my word, all the comments I had from people, mainly people that didn't sew downstairs or had people around them as they sew, but so many of you said exactly the same thing. And our secret is out now, isn't it? We all know. And how hilarious is that, that we all admit to sewing in our underwear every now and again. The next project that I did this week was something I wanted to do. Now this, these had some fat quarters from a fat quarter subscription box, and in it, they always give a pattern, and it was this lovely heat pad. I will admit I had a ball putting this together. For me, I've decided I'm not a quilter. I say that almost every week, I think. But I liked putting the pieces together. What I don't like is sewing it onto the batting. I hate that. I hate the quilting bit. I like the piecing together, but I don't like the quilting bit. Anyway, so this was all going swimmingly. Really enjoyed all that. And yeah, I have finished it and it doesn't look bad at all. Now, it's got the insole bright in it, so it makes that rustly sound. But yeah, so I've done it. Is it good? No. I still haven't got my Juki machine back, and that won't be back for a couple of weeks. I did get an update on it, and I actually rang them and they said, oh, it's in pieces on the work table at the moment. So no, they're waiting for a part, so that's not going to be back. But anyway, I didn't have my Juki. I had my Genome, and I have a very cheap walking foot on that, and it really didn't work well. So obviously I sewed it all together, but when I quilted it, I did the lines. It shifted this thing all over the place, even going really slow with a walking foot, doing everything you should. But I'm being picky, but it is twisted. It is not level. Actually, you can really see there that it's not good. But do you know what? It's for me. It's for me. It's for Christmas, and there's going to be something right in the middle of there. So you're not going to see. But I was a bit cross because I did it so well, all the pieces together, and then bodged it up at the end because, yeah, I'm blaming the machine. It's the machine. It wasn't me. It was the machine. But that was a really nice little project, and I would definitely do that again with all those lines. I just need to pay someone to quilt it for me because I really don't enjoy that at all. Another little project I had in mind. Now, I had these cut out for about the last 4 years. These are little things that I made to hold plates. So I like, when I'm serving a meal for guests, even just if it's just Chris and I like a warm plate. I don't like food on a cold plate. So a few years ago, I kind of invented these tiny little plate holders. So simple to make. You've just got folded triangles there, kind of a quilted bit there. And the idea is, of course, you just slip your fingers in there like a puppet, and then you can just hold your plate of your guests. Now, I've had a few of these, but we've got a few people coming for Christmas, and I did have 2 more bits cut out that I came across for 2 more. So I managed to make those up this week, and obviously scraps because I have not got this fabric anymore. But yeah, so I made a couple of these, so I was really pleased. Finally, after about 4 years, I finished them. So I've got a few more now, so they will be used for Christmas for all the guests, because I like to serve hot food on a hot plate. You may be able to see it in the background, but this is the lovely top I made for my I Can Sew That video that I put out this week. Thank you so much for all your lovely comments. I never use trim. I'm a little bit scared of adding trim to things because sometimes I think it can make it look homemade, but obviously this was something I was recreating from something I'd seen in a shop with the black velvet trim, so I did it. I probably never would have thought to do that on my own, but this top I absolutely love, and a lot of you did think it was really nice as well. So I'm going to be wearing that to one of my Christmas lunches. I have 2, so I'll be wearing that. But yep, so that was a video that went out this week. It was kind of an amalgamation of 2 patterns to copy what I'd seen, but had this black velvet trim on it, which it really does elevate it, doesn't it? So I had been busy with that. And then I got one of those calls from my son. Mum, can you do me a favour? Right, so here we go. They want some stockings made up for them. Now, I had this same call from my son last year. He said, I'd like you to make some stockings up. Fine, absolutely no problem, I said. Went ahead and ordered some fabric. Now, they like things quite plain. They wouldn't want anything too bright and garish. And I managed to get hold of some fabric, and it was upholstery fabric from Sophie Allport. She does a lot of China in the UK, things like that. But two beautiful pieces of fabric, and it wasn't cheap. This one here with the lovely little rabbit and the Christmas tree, and then there's a badger, it's hedgehogs with little hats on, really sweet. And also a contrasting kind of piece in this beige with this. Oh, I really love this. So I got hold of that. I'm starting to cough because, yeah, I got some fur as well last year. A couple of weeks ago, I sewed, oh, might have only been last week, I sewed a top for my daughter out of some fleece, and the stuff went everywhere. Well, this is just as bad. But it was this, it is lovely. It's super soft, thin fur. And I'd bought that. You can see the bits going around in the camera lights. I bought this as well. So I thought, right, I'm not going to buy anything else. I've got it all ready. So I'm going to make the stockings up with that stuff I'd already bought. So that's what I've been trying to work out this week. I don't have a stocking pattern, but what I did pick up quickly last year was this very cheap linen stocking from Hobbycraft, because I thought that would be a brilliant template. So I think it was only £1. So instead of buying a pattern last year, I picked up this stocking. Brilliant. I then thought about, I want them to be lined and I want them to have the cuffing at the top. And then he wanted them with the names on. So I thought, how is my Disney Brother embroidery machine going to cope with embroidering on that fur? Because that's something I'd never done before. So I did a test run and it does work quite well. I am quite pleased. I used a stabilizer behind it and then the water soluble stuff on top. So the pile sits on top, doesn't sort of sink into the fabric. And that has worked a treat. What I worked out is around some of the things to kind of trim the fur down. So that worked. Going to be lined. I had the pattern and I wanted the cuffing at the top. So I have made a prototype, and it is very much a prototype because there's a couple of things wrong with it. But this is we're going there for the weekend, so I'm going to take it out with me and see what they think. But this is a prototype one. Because it's not perfect, so I don't want to give it to them, I've still got the water soluble bit over the embroidery. I haven't bothered to soak that off because I think it's got to be bigger, but it is lined. I think what I did was actually sew the cuffing to the stocking. I think I prefer it if it was sat over, if you know what I mean, you know, like you roll it over rather than being, so I'm not too sure, but I'm going to take it up to them and see what they think, and then I'm going to go from there. So I've got to make 5, one for the dog as well. So I'm really pleased with it. I do think it looks really smart and I think they will really like it. I just need to get their approval before I go ahead and do any more. Get loads of gifts in there, can't you? So that is that so far, and there's fur everywhere in my room again. After cleaning up all the fleece from last week, I've got bits of fur. I will just say, when I was looking for kind of how to construct a stocking, I did come across a really good tutorial that does the fold over cuff. So I will put that link below. It's a huge channel. I'm sure you've all come across it before, but I will put the link down below. I think it's Learn, Create, Sew. And they've got the basic stocking and also the one with a cuff. So I might kind of go in that direction, but I'll put the details below in the description box. I didn't tell you what I'm wearing today, and this is a jumper I made a few years ago actually. It is, of course, you probably guessed, if I went like that, you'll probably guess what it is. It's the Soho 7 toaster sweater, the original version. It is quite short on me. I always end up pulling it down. Since I've made this one, I've made others and lengthened it. But this was a beautiful kind of a knit, almost like a knit ponte fabric I got a few years ago, and it's got a little bit of a sparkle in it. So it was quite chilly when I got back today, so I have worn this, but that is what I'm wearing today. In addition to all the panic sewing I've been doing this week, I've made some more kind of leathery pouches for gifts. Got all those posted off, so that's been good. I made a couple of other things. It's been busy. But then I remembered I play oboe in my local orchestra, and we have a concert in 2 weeks. And the uniform is always black and red, or black and a bit of red. Now every year I'm scrabbling around for something to wear about an hour before I go normally. This year I'm trying to be a bit more organised, and what I thought I don't have is a black dress. If I just wore a black dress and just a bit of red gold jewellery or something like that. So I ordered some black ponte from Minerva. Here we go again. Me and Minerva, honestly. This has come, but it's really, really thin. I don't understand. Ponte is normally so much heavier than this. I don't know if you can see how thin it is, but it really is. It's a lot. It's almost like a viscose jersey rather than a ponte. I mean, I can see a little bit through it, so I'm going to have to wear a slip or something underneath it. But I haven't got time to be ordering anything else, so I'm just going to make up a simple dress. And for me, I will use McCalls 7122 because I have used this many times for tunics, for short summer dresses, and I will probably make it mid-sleeve, I would think. Long sleeve and I might get too hot and too stressed. Short sleeve, that's crazy. So I'll probably make it mid-sleeve, but I would just make up, it's a raglan sleeve dress. It normally fits me quite well, and if it is too baggy, then I normally add ties on the back. So I hope to make, gosh, I need to make this up. I definitely need to make this up, because yeah, our concert's in 2 weeks time. Yeah. It's not a fancy concert. We just play to an audience and we never charge. We just do a retiring collection for a local charity, which changes every time. So yeah, I need to get this black flopsy ponte dress made up. That's got to happen next week, regardless of anything else going on. So that is the kind of week I've had. Very bitty, I'm hoping next week, if I can get all the gifts done, then maybe I can concentrate on the dress and the jumper. Oh, I wanted to make a jumper last week, didn't I? I had this beautiful blue rib and I wanted to make up this pattern, Simplicity 8526, with a kind of small roll neck. Wanted to do that. That went out the window this week. I hope you've had a bit of better week than me, a more organised week. Yeah, I've been panicky. So last weekend we went to our caravan holiday home and we closed it down for the winter. So that was very sad. Yeah, took everything down, took the curtains down and everything. But we did have time to do a final walk over to Lyme Regis. Now, Lyme Regis is quite a famous tourist area. But this time of year it's lovely because it's not as busy. The weather was dull, drizzly, but it's a really nice walk where we sort of park way out of the town and you walk back through the countryside and then follow the river into the middle of the town and the coast. It's really lovely. So I did take a couple of pictures there. I also did a lovely walk with my Ramblers group this week, and there are a lot of thatch cottages in the area. There's a lot in Dorset, and where we live next to the New Forest, there's a lot of thatched cottages there. And we came across this one with this wonderful design on the top of the roof. So I'm going to put that picture in because it's fantastic. It's done in thatch, the same as the roof, but it's a dog chasing a cat, chasing a mouse. It's stunning. a lot of talent out there. So yeah, a couple of pictures from that, but it has been a good week. We're away this weekend, but we're babysitting. We're babysitting my granddaughter, something that we've never actually done. My son's going to a wedding, so we've got her for most of the day and put her to bed. And I will admit, I look after my grandsons all the time, but because they're local, I know them a lot better. And I will admit, I am quite nervous of this, but I'm sure we'll have lots of fun with her because she's such a sweetie and just beginning to walk. We will be coming home Sunday, hopefully we'll be home by lunchtime, so that's it, a bit of time to breathe and get some Christmassy jobs done, because we have no Christmas decorations up in the house yet. We got the lights outside, but we have nothing in the house. So that needs to be rectified because it's only a couple of weeks away, isn't it? So I think I will leave it there for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. I know there's a million videos out there, as well as all the Vlogmas videos, which have been fantastic. I will admit I've been watching them and absolutely love watching what people get up to day to day. Glad I'm not doing it though. After the week I've had, that I could not put up with that stress of that. But I do hope you're enjoying watching them as I am. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful weekend. And if you're frantic like me, take a breath, make a nice cup of tea and chill. That's what I'm going to do hopefully next week. Thank you again. Bye for now.